Hello everybody, hope everybody's doing great today and appreciate you watching this video and thank you for that. And today we'll be talking about Once Upon a Small Town. It's a Korean drama, and the reason why I wanted to see this show was because most of your Korean dramas take place in Seoul, and so I was wanting to watch a show that took place outside and kind of countryside because, being somebody who's never been to Korea, I'd like to see what it looks like outside of the big city. And so that's why I was looking forward to seeing this, just so you can see the countryside and like the small towns and kind of like how they portrayed life in these small towns. So that's why I was interested in seeing the show. To me, Once Upon a Small Town is a lot like Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha, and I'll explain that later as I go on with the show. But this will explain what this is about. This is about a veterinarian who lives in Seoul and has his own little hospital thing. And his grandparents live out in this small town, out in the countryside. And out of the blue, they call him up, telling him to come to visit them. And when he gets there, they've left on a cruise. And unknowns to their grandson, this veterinarian, he is to take over his his grandpa's business and help out with the animals in this small village while his grandpa's out on a cruise. And on his way, he meets the locals, and he runs into this cop, Officer An, I think that's how you say her name. And they become a relationship type thing. So basically this is like Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha, like almost down to the T. If you ever seen Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha, you have, instead of a veterinarian, you have a dentist who goes to a small town there on the coast, and she opens up her own medical center. There she meets a guy who is kind of like, everybody knows him, and he goes around helping everybody. You have three old ladies who like kind of steal the show for me. They're very funny. You even have like a burglar there. So this is exactly like that almost. And once upon a time, instead of a dentist, you have this veterinarian who goes from the big city to a small town. He meets this Officer On, who everybody likes. She goes around serving everybody. The first episode, you have somebody robbing, like a thieves going in, breaking into places. Instead of three old ladies, you got three middle-aged women who are not as good as the three old ladies. They're always arguing. They're kind of like hitting a midlife crisis or something. But they don't really steal the show. Just real quick, Hometown Cha-Cha is probably better because, one, it has more episodes. It's 16 episodes, and each episode's an hour. While this show, it's only 12 episodes long, and each one's roughly 30 to 40 minutes long. So unlike Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha, they don't really get time to expand on our side characters and explore their lives like you do in Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha. However, doesn't mean that this is a bad show. We get your normal Korean tropes where our two main characters once knew each other as children, and for some reason one of them don't remember the experience of that relationship they had as children, and it kind of offends the other one, and then you got this budding relationship. This show does, I don't know, never been to Korea, don't know how life is out in the village, but it kind of seems like what you would expect. You got these people who are, they're agriculture oriented, so you got a lot of your farm animals and stuff like that. You got your little, and then you got your guy who grows peaches, and you see how everybody knows each other's business. Their gossip spreads throughout this little village pretty well and pretty fast. And, just that closeness of being in a small town, what you see today. We also kind of get like the relationship or the point of view of how big town city people like little town people, how they view each other and how those stereotypes are either broken or confirmed. You kind of get that in this as well. So at the beginning of this show, you do get your kind of like your fish out of water as our veterinarian goes in and he's not really knowing what to expect. Back in his and Seoul, he has set hours where he works from nine. We'll say he just works 9 to 5, and that's it. And he realizes once he goes out to the country that he doesn't really have any set hours. It's whenever there's an emergency, he needs to go and help these people out with their animals. Because a lot of them, they grow cattle, so their livelihoods depend on their farm animals, and so he needs to help them out with that case. Typically, this is not really my type of show I would like to watch. Like I said, I was more drawn to it because I wanted to see what Korean life was outside of Seoul, and that's why I watched it. And the reason I say it's not really my type of show that really draws me in, if this was based on Seoul, I probably wouldn't watch it. Let's say that much. That's just because it's basically a show about the relationship between our veterinarian and our police officer, and how they're trying to rekindle the friendship they had as children, and how their relationship grows. And there's not really much more to this show than about that relationship. Typically, I like stuff, I don't mind romantic shows, but I like when it's an overall theme, like they're trying to accomplish something else, and then that relationship kind of blossoms, and that the story kind of focus on like certain aspects of society and stuff, what you'll see in future videos that I will do, where the show is about a relationship, but it also tackles certain aspects of society. This one, it doesn't really have like a thing where it's talking about, this is how life is. It's just like, this is country life. It's kind of like slower than you would see in like the big city. And this is these two people's relationship as they go from friendship to something more. You do get your typical love rivalries. Both of them have somebody who likes each other. And so you kind of get that drama into this. But it's not really much of a drama. It's basically a show you can sit back, relax, and don't really have to worry about anything serious happening. You just can just enjoy their lives and what's going on around them, and not really worry much about what's going to happen, because you basically already know. And like I said, the third wheels, the rivals, they're not very much in there. They like last maybe like an episode, even a half episode, and then it's over, type of thing. I guess the only thing that you really have to wonder about is, will they get together? If they do get together, will he move to the countryside, or will she move to the city? Those about the three things you really have to wonder about, try to figure out what is going to happen. And I'm not going to give that away. Just because it's not my type of show, I'm going to give it a review. I got to be fair on this. I did enjoy it. So if you're new to the channel, you're still at 8 minutes, thank you very much. We don't get very many people who stick around this long, probably because I'm boring. But anyways, we usually give one of three grades when we do reviews. One is we don't recommend at all, which means that we figured maybe only 20% of the people would like this. Recommend with caution means like, half and half. Some people will like this, some people won't. And then highly recommend means that we think everybody will like it, or the great majority of people will like this. I'm gonna go with I'll recommend this highly. Maybe not highly recommend this, but I'm going to recommend it, which will go to highly recommend. I think if you're looking for something that is just relaxing, just want to enjoy, and maybe if you're somebody like me who's an American who don't really get to see what Korea is outside, and you want to enjoy like the landscape and maybe how people live their lives outside of Seoul, I think you'll enjoy this as well. If you like good old fashion romantic type stories, it has a good story here to tell. It's very romantic. And if you're somebody who enjoyed Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha, you'll feel right at home, because this is basically it. Just a simpler version of Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha. And if you enjoy this, I highly recommend you to watch Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha, because it is a lot of ways, like I said, it's better only because they have more time to expand on the characters and those around them, and you get some cool side characters. While this show, because of the time limit, they have to focus most of their time on our main characters, and you get glimpses into their side characters. So yeah, so hope you enjoy this video. If you do, hit the like button. Hey, and have a great day. Until next time, bye.